Hello again everyone, I'm the Dude5 back with another video. Today we'll be continuing our walkthrough series of Middle-earth Shadow of War with Part 10. After this, guys, we are only going to have a few more videos. Parts 11, 12, and 13 will lead us through to the end of the campaign, and then once I finish Shadow Wars and get to the last fortress defense of Stage 10, I will do my ending and review of this game. So today we're going to finish the final mission in the Karnan questline, and then we're going to jump into the last few missions of the Altariel questline up until the final mission. The final mission of the Altariel questline is going to be the Bright Lord, which is going to be the final mission, and that will take us to the end of the game. But in this episode and in part 11, we're going to complete as far as we can, as far as the Altariel. Proper pronunciation is key. And then after that, we will do all of the Bruz quests. I'm going to save those for last, because he's just a thorn in our side. Oh, I didn't give too much away. Everyone's already played through this game by this point. With the fact that Bruz kind of acts like so outlandishly different as opposed to the rest of the orcs that we dominate. They don't act the way that Bruz acts. Like, they don't. Bruz still acts like he's himself, which kind of makes me suspicious of him. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna save the Bruz quests for last, because I mean they're a part of the story, but they're not really as entertaining or crucial to the story as some of these other missions. It does introduce an interesting mechanic to the Nemesis system, I think, but that's all the Bruz stories really do. Let's get to it.
Zog's acolytes have been busy.
A necromancer is never truly dead.
The arena is stocked with dead Uruk, victims of the siege.
Alright, so basically, some of them can get a little tricky, but so long as you're quick enough and you hop to each totem quickly enough before the enemies have enough time to notice you're there, you can purify them pretty quickly. So just purify them. Purify them and get the hell out of there, because once you purify all of them, then all of the orcs that are running around being resurrected, they'll just drop dead again, and all you'll have to do is after that is face against Zog one more time. And this, I think, is probably one of the tougher battles I've encountered in the game. This motherfucker right here in the very beginning of the game, he's so low level, but Nakra Goodfink kept cheating death, inexplicably cheating death. I don't know how. I killed him about like 5, 6 freaking times before he stayed dead, and now fucking Zog brought him back. Son of a bitch. But anyway, I think the two toughest fights I've had in this game so far were the it was the Overlord of Gorgoroth. Was it Overlord of Gorgoroth, or I don't think it was the Overlord of Saragost. I think I took him out pretty easily enough. But it was I think it was the Overlord of Gorgoroth that really gave me the toughest time. Aside from Zog. Zog is just a really tough enemy to go up against, like I said before, because throws cursed spears, and you have to be careful not to get hit by those, otherwise you're just going to get taken out really quickly. He doesn't let you vault over him. He dodges your stuns and all frontal attacks, so really what you got to do is you got to try to get out of his line of sight so you can stealth hit him, and then shoot him with arrows and stuff. And once you get your might meter full with like arrow shots and stuff, you can use Mighty Shot, and then when he's down, just try to ground execute him for some damage. That's really the only way you can try to. That's really the only way that you can take him out, is just by chipping away at his health by more unconventional methods than just full frontal attack and full frontal nudity. That was unnecessary. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much how you gotta do it. I think I also mentioned before that before you reach the final mission of this game, of the main campaign, that you do have to conquer all 4 fortresses before you do that. Anyway, you do have to conquer all 4 fortresses before you can access the final mission of this game, though. Just make sure whatever orcs in the region that you have, just make sure they're high enough level, make sure you're high enough level, and make sure you can, you know, do well enough. You usually want to have a full war team of like 6 followers, all buffed up, all with siege upgrades. It does cost Mirian for siege upgrades, and especially when you go into Shadow Wars, if you haven't already upgraded your defenses on all your fortresses, it does cost something extra. It does cost extra Mirian for you to unlock all additional siege upgrade slots for like followers. Because I know in your siege upgrades for taking a fortress, you have to be a certain level to have all 6 follower slots unlocked, but for siege defense, you actually have to spend Mirian to unlock the extra siege defense upgrade slots to assign followers. Usually with each siege defense follower slot, the 6th slot, you have to win a round of orc fight pits on champion level in order to be able to unlock that, but it does cost extra Mirian to fully upgrade all your siege defenses on all your fortresses.
The dead aren't dead. They're just waiting for someone who will listen, who will answer their call. Once you're out of the way, we will all rise again.
Yeah, this fight did take me quite a while, so I'm just gonna let y'all. I'm just gonna kick back and let y'all watch me struggle here.
We've been here.
We've been here before. How many lives do you think I have left? We share a common enemy, Ranger. We could have been allies. We've been here.
Zog.
We share a...
We share a common enemy, Ranger. We could have been allies. We've been here.
We've been here before. How many lives do you think I have left?
finally stabbed him right in the face.
Cleansed by fire to ash you go, burn to cinder and never to return. I told you, Ranger, undead will defeat undead.
Karnan is still alive. It's a little misleading. It almost kind of looks like she might have died in the last video, but no, she's force of nature. She's still alive. Because we defeated Zog and kept Targaroth from being raised, she wouldn't be damaged any further.
The Nazgul is holding some of your followers.
We must recover them.
Such loyalty to the Orcs.
Trying to find a spot or an opening where I could rescue one of my followers before I try to disrupt the ritual.
Your war is
God damn exploding orcs, knock it off! Just annoying.
That was almost ritualistic murder.
Try stealthing a Nazgul, it doesn't work.
We knew you would come. Now, join your army in service to the Witch King. You will kneel before the Witch King. This foul elf from you. It is only a matter of time.
Here he is! Kneel before me! Serve the Bright Lord!
I am loyal to the Witch King!
Pathetic creature!
I've got no patience for all the pointless cruelty. The torturing, maiming, those shriekers nearly offed me.
They said they were going to use my blood!
Our army remains strong, and we have all but assured the Nazgul cannot track us.
But they are still not defeated. As long as they are out there, we are not safe. You least of all.
The Nazgul cannot be truly defeated until the One Ring is destroyed, and Sauron with it. Because like Sauron, they are tied to the fate of the ring. Skill upgrade, Shadow Dominate. Activating the skill upgrade allows you to Shadow Dominate a grunt, a broken captain, blah blah blah.
Our followers are returned and the Hydia are secure. The Nazgul's power is diminished.
And yet, this sense
Pretty
of
sure it's something
dread
we already had for a while now, but whatever. The Scourge.
Helm Hammerhand. Of all the Nazgul, his fall was most tragic. His rage knows no bounds.
The Dark Lord will have his prize, Ranger of Gondor. That fortress is a tiny island surrounded by a sea of darkness, and the tide rises against you.
I reckon you've got him handled. I'll worry more about his pets.
Deathbringer! I should thank you. Whatever magics you used when you took my head will not allow me to die. Getting killed by you was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I think it's pretty cool that they've decided to delve into the backstory of the different Nazgul. For the longest time, I thought they were, we didn't really know who they once were, and it really kind of didn't matter who they once were. For the plot of the Lord of the Rings, all Aragorn tells us is they were once men, great kings of men. And so, there's 9 of them. So obviously, some of them were probably not of Middle-earth, but from different regions of Middle-earth that were not on the map. But some of them were on the map of Middle-earth, some of them did belong to this region, and I think the fact that they decided to delve into the backstory of some of them, just kind of show you who they were and how they fell, is great for character development. It kind of This kind of goes to show you that, you know, they may be slaves to Sauron's will, but they are, you know, that much more unique than they were initially made out to be. You know. But once you become one of them, you're essentially, you know, you're essentially nothing. You're essentially just an extension of the Dark Lord himself. You know. So once you become one of them, it doesn't really matter who you once were.
The armies of the Dark Lord, like his powers, are limitless.
But it does still make for great storytelling. I think the point of Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War is to kind of show you what happened between the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, because Sauron was not dead. His fate was tied to that of the One Ring, because the One Ring is technically a part of himself, and if the One Ring is not destroyed, then Sauron is allowed to survive. And so, the fact that it was found out that he once again was rising to power, even without the One Ring, after the events of The Hobbit, it kind of begs the question, okay, well, if Sauron was still alive and he was able to rise to power again even without the One Ring, then why didn't he launch his war on Middle-earth sooner? Like, why for so long, you know, if the One Ring had survived, and Sauron survived, you know, then why did it take him 60 years after the events of The Hobbit to launch his war upon Middle-earth? You know? And so the fact that Talion and his escapades with Celebrimbor and all the people they meet, the fact that they're waging war on Mordor to kind of keep Sauron preoccupied, you know, with all this stuff going on in Sauron's land, it would kind of make sense, the fact that, you know, he's preoccupied with something else. So that's why it's taken him so long now to, you know, that's why it's taken him so long to launch his war, you know, start the War of the Ring. And it's not until the ring is found that, you know, he finally starts to begin the War of the Ring, you know. You really gotta be careful in this battle against Helm Hammerhand, because he's a raging motherfucker.
Slow him. What about yours?
Alright, so we've wounded him. Now let's finish him off. In a sense. I mean, he won't really be finished off because he can't die, because Sauron's not dead. We all know this. I'm gonna stop repeating myself. I farted.
Making a habit of saving.
Hello up there.
I think I prefer the version where you don't impale me.
Where is the Nazgul?
Nearby. Can you keep up?
Do my best. It was not the first time for you to face Helm, was it?
I've faced each Ringwraith more times than I can count.
And you've never defeated them?
Not yet.
Then why do you keep fighting?
In the war against darkness, sometimes stalemate is victory.
From now, the battle must be won.
It's also kind of cool the fact that they included like hammer throwing in this game. Instead of shooting wraith arrows, you can throw wraith hammers, which I think is really cool. But you gotta get lucky with your loot drops, because up until this point in the game, all of the hammers that I've been able to collect as loot have been lower attack level than have always been lower attack level than my my bows, and so up until now I haven't been able to find a high enough attack hammer that I'd be willing to use. So you just gotta get lucky.
Dominate one, we could turn the weapon of the enemy against him.
Like a ring of power. You do nothing to dispel my fears, Elf Lord.
I don't know which scares me more, the Nazgul or its...
That's one Drakey poo down. Now this is kick-ass right here. You can actually perform executions on beasts, and the executions you perform on drakes just works fucking amazing.
What happens to the Nazgul when they are defeated?
Their spirit endures. It returns to Barad-dûr, growing in strength until it can again take physical form.
So, they are banished from death.
Waiting on you, elf tits. Why do I feel like if Danny McBride played one of the orcs in this game, it would be infinitely more entertaining?
demands that you serve him. But your she-elf friend, I will take her head and hands as trophies.
I'm so tired of you.
I have hunted every beast in Middle-earth, and none has ever escaped me.
Take it easy there, Big Kahuna. Swinging your hammer around. Ow.
My drakes drive me.
That the drakes just disintegrate in fiery embers when you kill them is just awesome. It's almost like a phoenix looking kind of thing, but not really, because they're not reborn from their ashes. Haha! Ah! You bastard! I love how, like, it doesn't, like, my last chance there is Altariel saving my ass instead of me countering Helm Hammerhand. Plus, I think it's really cool. We hear about Helm Hammerhand in Tolkien lore, but also in the Two Towers we hear about Helm Hammerhand. The Horn of Helm Hammerhand. When they sound it and they go riding out of Helm's Deep to meet their enemy before Gandalf shows up with the Riders of Rohan. It's really cool that they decided to include Helm Hammerhand as kind of a character in this game and dive more into his backstory and how he became a Ringwraith. Like I said, up until now we don't know what Kings of Men, we don't know who specifically these men were before they fell and became Ringwraiths. And originally it didn't really kind of matter, but now it kind of does because, you know, their story plays a part in Middle-earth, just like everybody else. So I mean, it kind of adds some context, some backstory. It's just really good, all good stuff. I like it. Instead of having the Nazgul continue to be vague and vagaries of perception, just, you know, actually have them matter a little bit more than they originally did.
My torment ends. Yours is simply beginning.
You should have given me your daughter's hand when I asked.
For your daughter's safe return.
Please, don't fight him.
If you kill me, you'll start a war.
War has come!
Jesus. Accidentally kills his own daughter in his ring-fueled rage.
My lord.
Shit. Kids, this is why it's always important to never let your anger get the better of you. Let that be your lesson for today.
How could you? You stood beside Sauron as he gave these kings the very rings that doomed them!
Those rings were meant to bring order. Sauron deceived me. He deceived us all.
Knowing what you know now, still, you crafted a new ring.
We crafted a ring. Why else did you pick up my hammer? It is not noble men we are dominating, but savage orcs. And it is with this army that all Sauron has wrought will be undone.
No matter the cost.
Huh. Celebrimbor starts to show a bit of a dark side here.
A Drake would have been a great asset.
Talion and Celebrimbor have always had a bit of an uneasy relationship, but now it starts to show a whole nother side, whole other context. It's starting to make me feel a little bit uneasy about Celebrimbor himself. Anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. I believe we only have 1 or 2 more Eltariel missions before we complete it as far as we can. For now, I'm going to end things here for this episode. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. My name has been I'm the Dude 5. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, as well as any others of mine that you may enjoy, including the one I provide on screen. Also, check out my friend Night the Wolf on YouTube. I'll provide a link on screen to his channel as well. Be sure to like and subscribe to him. Thanks again, everyone, so much for watching, and as always, stay classy. I will see you all out there in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.